Hi everybody. Sorry for a delay. I was trying to Ram, who actually coordinates for the all the workshops from the Beam meditation family. He is on his personal trip right now, and so at the last minute, we I had to pitch in to fix this live stream on YouTube. Nevertheless, all's well that has happened. It's in perfect order. So I welcome everyone. I would request you all to switch on your cameras so that we can have an interactive session. And it's only fair that when we see each other, we naturally tend to understand and reciprocate much better. Thank you so much. So yeah, thank you, Manjuji. Thank you, Vasudha. Ophelia, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Shubhangi. Okay, and can I request the rest of us to also switch on your camera, please? Anjuji, Brother Sahir, and Nadia. All right. So, welcome, all of you. Vasudha welcome. Ophelia, welcome. Manjuji, welcome. Subhangi welcome. Welcome, Anjuji. Welcome, Nadia. And welcome, Sahir. So, today we will be talking about the fifth ray, and that is the God's eye. That is the third eye chakra from the Ascended Master's teaching. It's the individualized God self in us, and I will explain you quite briefly so that especially for the people who have joined for the first time, is a feeling they don't have a feeling of being lost in between, but there is a sense of understanding right from beginning, right from the session. But then at the same time, it will be much beneficial if you also go through each ray, because by end of the seven rays complete session, or the workshop, we will be doing a assessment, and that assessment is primarily to identify which is the dominant ray, or which is the God quality which we are emitting in this lifetime, and that will also help us to attune more closely to our own purpose, and it will be helping us in our own ascension process. By that process we come to know about the dominant as well as one more second dominant ray. For me, my dominant ray is okay. That's different. I'll talk about that later on. But let's quickly have a quick hello from everybody and hear about, especially the newcomers or who have joined for the first time. Where do they stand in this teaching so far?
So can I speak?
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Ophelia.
So I am Ophelia. I've just joined in because I missed the other sessions, but I've done a bit of pranic healing. So I'm aware of the chakras. I'm aware. I'm also doing some work with the Chanakya Niti. So I'm a beginner and I'm exploring. I've retired and I have time on hand now to really follow my spiritual path.
Excellent. It's perfect wherever you are. And all I request is, all of us are in our own journey, and it is wherever we are, it's perfect. I would say that. And the best part is that we are here, and to be here needs a sufficient amount of karma to be balanced. When I say that, what I mean is that to understand certain things which are beyond explanation, this is not quite black and white like I am an engineer and Anjuji is a doctor, and some of us are very technical. This is not so black and white. However, it is very scientific, completely scientific, and we need to start from a state of beyond our physicalness. So I was just saying that wherever we are, it's perfect. We all of us are in our own journey, and the reason why we are here is because number one, that we are here to share our learnings. Number two, to assist each other in our ascension process. That's the main purpose of us being here. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
yeah,
so much.
thank you.
Hello?
Hi, Nadia.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Hi. I'm new to this session, and somehow I'm using my friend Nadia's Zoom, and my name is Mabel. So my name is Mabel using Nadia. She's very kindly let me. I know about the chakras,
Okay.
the chakras beyond the 7 chakras, and I'm aware of the others. I know little bits about lots of things, and I know about the masters. And for some reason now, the universe has got me to be joining this session. So there's a reason for me to be here. And things are starting to happen that are not wordable for me. So I feel very strongly things, and I feel I'm in a light space. I'll just say that I'm in a light space, and I feel protected by light. So I don't know what's going on, but I accept what's going on. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, you don't have to say much, Mabel, and it's wherever you are. It's perfect, and I welcome you here to this session. And
Thank
this is your first session, so I really uh, look forward that this gives you a huge value, and that's my commitment that you will have a huge value. All I ask everybody is to be here with an open heart and an open mind, because where we are is perfect, but it's important for us to also know that from where we are heading someplace, and that's all dependent on us. It's not dependent on anybody else. So an open heart and an open mind is what is all I ask for. While I'll be sharing few things, I also would like to kind of put this out there to all of you, that I am not somebody who has completely accomplished or attained a level of I would say perfection on the enlightenment path. And yet whatever I share will be, the information will be accurate. However, it may not be completely um, that information not be the all the information that is available on this subject. So each of us are encouraged to do your own study and also your own research. It could be a starting point, and that's my promise to you, that whatever I'm going to be sharing is coming from my experience, and also from from my own research which I have done. So the information is correct, but that's just to start you, to start with. And also that when we share with each other, we are doing this, and I encourage everybody to switch on the camera. The reason is that we are here to learn. Okay, not to hear information and get some more data and feel great about, or maybe feel overwhelmed about it. I am not in that work at all. I have done a lot of data collection, and being a guy from technology, that was my primary focus. Now this is not about that. It's not going to be more data collection and overwhelming you with more information and more just to provide you some data, but it's all about practice. This should come imbibed into us, so that we apply it, and that converts into our wisdom. So that's my intention.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, somebody else. Yes,
Hello.
Shubhangi ji.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, please speak. Yeah. Go ahead, Anju ji, please share.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. I am a seeker, and I feel I connected to masters, some of them. Like Master DK, I am doing great invocation daily 3 times. Triangle work I do. So it's just intriguing to know more about more masters. That's why I joined the session.
Very nice. That inquisitiveness is the only thing that keeps us hooked on, anchored to our path. And that's very beautiful, actually. Great. I think each day is, as we look at it, is a new discovery of knowing self. So yeah, I really bow to your I am presence. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, Shubhangi ji. I can't hear. Your voice is not audible. Can you mute and unmute once more? There's some issue with the mic. Yeah.
Is it clear now?
Yes, you're
Can you hear
audible
me
now.
now?
Yes, now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, so there's something wrong with my earphone, so sorry.
That's okay.
So yeah,
We can fix that.
this is my first time that I'm attending, this session. I'm a seeker. I have done Reiki and I do a whole lot of meditation and chanting, so to say. So I'm just here to learn more and open up myself more. I frankly don't know how I landed here. So there.
Are you from a group? Any of the groups? I have posted the invite. Are you in any of the groups where I have posted this invite?
Yes, I quite mystically became a part of Lena ma'am's group. And even I don't know how I came there. Okay. I just happened to join that group. And from that group, I got this link, and that's how I'm here. So.
Well, nothing is an accident. So that's the life itself is so mysterious in that way. When we start looking at it from that perspective, everything starts to make sense. So we are welcome. Please feel at home, and this is the right place to be. And let's we could just begin in a few more minutes. Let's hear from Vasudha ji. You want to say a word or something? A hello, just if you wish.
Hi to everybody.
Hello.
This is my third session, and I was not able to attend one or two that happened prior to this, but it's always been wonderful. I am Vasudha, and I'm also a Reiki master teacher, and I also do a lot of meditation and chanting and more into a spiritual calling. So even I got connected to this group. I can say it was a divine connection guiding on the path where you need to do more. So I'm happy to be here and very eager to learn more. And getting connected to Akashji also was something like on some query, I contacted him and I didn't know that I would be part of this group and listening to him. And he's an amazing teacher. Every Saturday when he speaks, there's so much of in-depth knowledge, and I always go away with a lot to think about and how to grow more. So it is a wonderful session every week. Thank you, Akashji, and welcome to all the new people.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for these words, Vasudha ji. I am just sharing something, from my wherever I am in my life, and I just want to make that upfront that I'm not the doer, and it's God, and like that's true for all of us. And we're just doing things which we are getting guidance for, where we are guided. So that's the goal actually, to live our life more and more in the alpha state, in the state of divinity. And all of us are on our journey. So this being together helps each other. It only helps us to know that yes, there are more people. And Buddha said, I mean, there's a seeker who asked him that how much of this journey is attributed to the holy people. So Buddha said the whole of the journey is attributed to the holy people. So in the sense, the sangha is the most critical thing for somebody who's a seeker. That's very, very important to have the right people around, and it will automatically happen once we are on this path, and we are clear. First of all, more than being on the path is the clarity. I think Anjuji, we have been in sessions with Andrew sir, and one of the key things we learn is that having freedom first more than anything else. Freedom is a synonym to a clarity about our path. Is one of the key things. So I think we are all great wherever we are. Okay, yeah, welcome. Manjuji, we want to say a hello. We can't hear you.
I forgot to. I say I'm the oldest. Probably I'm the oldest one. I'm a I'm a retired science teacher, and going on the spiritual path rather late, and trying to find myself. So I find your lecture very interesting, and giving a new, completely different insight. And these rays are really interesting. So, but I really like the way you teach. And one thing I appreciate, or maybe being a teacher, I appreciate it more, that if you are not sure about the information, you say it directly, okay, I'm not sure. This is the way it should be, and that is a great quality in a teacher.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm humbled to hear this. I would like to say, I would like to request all of us, including me, that from today, we will use some words, okay, because words are very important, because that's the starting point of our vibration. Unless we just live in meditative state, we start to say these words that we don't repeat our old patterns, which means that anything that is limiting, okay, I mean, I would say it in this way. Anything that has been limiting in our life, where we can see it's limiting us, and where we can stop doing that, let's introspect that, okay. And mostly we will find it comes in the form of a belief system, but then it automatically comes in the form of a statement, like my belief system is that I can't have a lot of money, okay, I don't deserve to have a lot of money, something like that. And so it could be, or I cannot have a lot of loving people around me, and it's a limiting belief, okay. So I want you to look at what is the limiting belief that you have, and make a conscious effort, a resolution to not to use that statement. Just be conscious of it, okay. That's just one thing. So what we are doing is we are not repeating the old patterns. So from today, that's one thing which we do. And the second thing that we do is that, so we are withdrawing our energy from that, okay. So, and the other thing that we do is we engage in the things which we, wherever we put our attention is what we receive, okay. So let's look at what is it that we want to receive. Let's put our attention on that, and you can start to say that I see everybody as the gods. Just 1 second. Give me a quick second, please. I'm so sorry about my dog. She is one of my teachers. Unconditional love, completely. Okay, I'm just 1 second. I'm going to just read from my note over here. Yeah. So one thing we will use as an affirmation. This just came to me. I was just noting down a few things when Manju ji was speaking. We will start speaking this, that I see everybody as the God sees. Yeah. I see what God sees. Yeah. Yes, brother. Absolutely. Brother, why is your camera off?
I see what God sees.
Yeah, I see what God sees. So anything I need to put my attention on more, let's do that. So we put our attention, anything like I want to put my attention on receiving the messages from God more swiftly and opening my heart to accept the way life is. You can use something else, relationships, or finances, or knowledge, or God's work, whatever it is. Anything I need to put my attention on, I put that more fully. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. And another thing is, what mindsets and stereotypes I'm holding about myself and others. Like, there are certain things that are very specific. What we're doing is we're just trying to speculate right now. Okay, and this just gives us more room to learn things what we are going to do right now. And also, there's a ascendant master by the name of Jwal Kul. I have shared about him in my earlier lectures, but I'm going to be talking about him also in the future lectures, not today in detail, but I had touched upon him in my earlier lectures. So Jwal Kul said that in order to reach perfection, okay, in the mankind, they were talking about perfection right now. He says that we need to be perfection. We need to see perfection, because it's not going to happen. Today we are talking about third eye. My friends, third eye is so powerful. The integration of third eye with the sacral chakra, because the sacral is the creation. The God's creation starts from the sacral. I mean, the root is for co-creation, but then the creation from the aspect of creativity, from the aspect of intuition, we start receiving messages. It comes from the sacral chakra. And if we integrate our sacral with the third eye, whatever the lower energies are, they get transmuted to the higher energies. And that's a process. It's not happening just because we know it, but we need to understand how our energies and our meridians work. Okay. So I wanted to say this. We need to, in order to experience perfection in mankind, we have to be perfection. We have to see perfection, which doesn't mean that everything is okay, but we have to start looking at the perfection in however the things are. And yet we need to continue to be in our own pillar of light, so to say. Like, you cannot let anything wrong happen to yourself or anybody, but that doesn't mean that you hate the person who's doing it. Okay, something like that. Okay, it's not to hate another. You have to be in the mode of constant forgiveness. I might be giving some few tips, but you can ask me questions, because it will always have this is multi-dimensional learning. It's not a linear learning. First of all, to start with, today what we speak, we may not talk about this tomorrow. The same topic will have a different dimension, and that is what is happening. Okay, we will talk about that a little more. So whatever we see now, it is another message by Joel Kuhl. Whatever we see for the planet Earth, we see with love and light. We see God in everything. We see as God sees. Okay, so just to give you a perspective about that. Okay, let's begin. If you see abundance, you will receive abundance. If you see great relationships, you will start experiencing great relationships. They might not feel great now, but that's not a problem. We need to start to speak in the language in which we want to see the things happening. Sometimes we may not have anybody to talk to. It's okay, we can do that in our mind. But Sangha really helps for sure. So it's very important. Relationships can be with people or money or health or our own self-esteem, everything included. So okay, let's start now. Brother Sahib, would you like to say something?
Good morning, Master Akash.
Morning.
It's great to listen to you once again. I don't want to hinder you from starting the session, so let's share after you finish, okay?
I'm done. I just spoke something because Manju was sharing and it just resonated with her sharing. So I had to just kind of, add this flavor to it. It's specifically not designed that I was going to talk about this. I have something more actually in my slides.
Yeah, but luckily that we discussed this already. Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. True. Yeah,
it's great to hear you once again.
Great. Yeah, thank you, brother. Would you like to switch on your camera? If you don't, it's also fine. It's up to you. Okay. Okay, great. So help me with the screen share. I will just start the screen sharing. Let me know if you see only one screen, which is the presenter view, or if you see two screens. Yeah. Do you see only one screen?
No,
perfect, Akash. Yeah, two screens.
Two screens.
Okay, then let me just take a moment to do a advanced. Now, do you see only one screen?
Yes, we are seeing only one screen now.
Okay, sure. So, we will spend a little time on a question which is ever fresh and ever important, is to ask this question: who am I and why am I here? Once again, the question is, who am I and why am I here? Yeah. What do you say? If you like to share. Come on, anything is fine. Whatever you speak is fine. Yeah, there's no right answer for this actually.
Akash?
Yes.
Actually, these were the questions that started my journey. I started to feel asking myself, what am I doing here in this world? So I'm still looking for an answer. Yes, I got some glimpses of insights, but still looking for. I know there is no ultimate answer, and it's so individual. So I'm on my journey to find this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you for sharing, and thank you for sharing this. And it's very, I'm really honored to hear your answer, very candid answer.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Yes, Ophelia ji, you wanted to say something.
Yeah. Yes. I'm a human. Besides that, I do not know who I am.
Okay. Okay.
And why
Fair
am
enough.
I here? I don't know. I just perform roles after roles after roles, and I don't feel fulfilled.
So this question really something, it sent a little bit of spark. So keep on keep at it, this question, keep at that question along the session. We're not expecting any specific answer. First of all, wherever you are, it's fine, but keep on this question during the course of the session. Yeah. Anybody else would like to share? Yes, Shubhangi
Yes,
ji.
please. Can I?
Yes, please do. Yeah, go ahead.
I think I am love. And I think all my experiences and this lifetime that I have is there so that I really deeply understand this. And I understand that everything around me is the same love. But
Okay.
there are so many blocks within me that it becomes so difficult to accept that. And I think that is what the journey is all about.
Very, very beautiful place to be at, being loved. I really like it. Yeah. And I'm sure what you say is absolutely the case with at different degrees with everybody. So yeah, thank you. We'll speak more during the course of the session. Yes, I think Mabel, you raised your hand.
Yes, I did. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, okay. I am going to say something controversial. I know I will. But I will start with saying that I've always been on a journey and aware that I did not know. And I was grabbing information from books and then stopped. And then I found that something else was happening. Let's say that the universe was happening to me. And then I was aware that I was just a witness of the universe doing through me, like I was a baby. And I always was a baby in the arms of the universe, in awe of the universe doing. And it's been a precious and generous and wonderful journey of all sides, maybe negative, maybe positive, but those don't matter anymore because there's thankfulness. And then I wanted to ascend more and yet be aware that there is much going on in this world. So I chose Kuan Yin's vow. And I've come full circle. So I'm aware that I'm nothing and doing the best I can and receiving and giving. And now that it seems as if much light is coming to me and I'm grateful. Asking who I am, I know that I started the journey out of anger, and because I am in a body that is a target of racism and people's opinions and beliefs and my beliefs. So I have a lot of anger in terms of spiritual teachings and what I have to learn and understand. So the controversial thing is the little that I've studied of the masters, and I'm trying to find the master of Africa. Why is there not a master of Africa?
There is. I'm not sure if you have read about Afra. but then he is the first ascended master from Africa, and very well learned, respected, and very powerful. So there is
Okay.
a history, yeah, but
Okay.
it's
I
okay.
saw.
We'll
I
speak
saw.
about that
Okay. Cool. I saw
later.
Afra, and I'm not quite sure about that as well because his appearance seems to be conditioned. So I'm open. Thank you. So I do have an ego attached belief going on right now, and I know that I have to be open and let that go. So I chose to share a mind thing that's going on.
Yeah, but you did show up here, and ego doesn't
Thank
really like this session.
you.
Ego has no interest in
I
these
still have
teachings.
judgment about Afra, I must admit. Thank you.
Yeah, but then you're here, and ego has no interest in being here and learning, hearing the word of ascended masters.
Internet
So
is frozen.
it's a. Can you not hear me? Hello.
If you're talking to me, I just heard you just now. Somehow the internet froze, so it seems the spirit is saying that there's some clearing I have to do.
Okay. Well, can everybody hear me? Was I frozen? Because I am not able to check my internet right now, unless you tell me to, because my screen is in the share mode.
No, you were not frozen.
Okay, then maybe it's at your end. Okay, yeah. So
my internet is frozen. I have some blocks to let go of. Okay.
Sister, just be here in more of openness, more of open heart and open mind, and let's see where it unfolds. I'm sure there's much to unfold and unravel, unveil during the course of session and subsequent sessions as well. So wherever you are, it's okay. Yeah. I really wish you will start receiving your answers, and it'll help you out. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else would like to share? Vasudha ji, Anju.
Who are we? What I have understood till now is we are spiritual bodies having experiences of dualities so that we can rise above these dualities. We have experienced everything and then going beyond judgment, going beyond this separatist tendencies, feeling oneness, learning our lessons. This is who we are.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think all of us are on our own journey, and you found the path, and and you're a seeker, and you're continuing with that journey of exploration, and that's a great, beautiful place to be. So, okay, thanks for sharing. Okay, anybody else who has missed out, or all of us have shared? Manjuji, you wanted to share?
I still don't have any answer why I am here. I still don't know, still trying to seek. So therefore, I just am learning. So the day I discover why I'm here, I think that will be the day. So till that time, learning, seeking the answer.
Okay. Okay, great. It's great wherever we are, and all the answers are perfect all the time. Okay. So, brother, if you can also switch on your camera, it will be great. But it's up to you. If you're not comfortable, it's fine. So I think who I am. I feel that I am more than my physical body and my feelings and my thoughts and whatever my biology tells me to do. And I think I am, for sure, I am somebody who is in some aspect a portion of God or some divine. And I feel that I am here to also discover this truth and also discover the larger truth. So what we see on the screen is basically a, a complete galaxy. All these small dots are different stars and planets. So, so there is something which is happening at a macro level, and something which is happening at our own micro level as well. And they are not separate, just to start with. But do we see it like that? I don't know. I don't see it like that. But yes, I am aware of it from the learnings that I have. I mean, you are also aware of it. So I think I'm also on the path to discover that oneness of the collective. What is this collective consciousness, and what role can I play in that? Rediscover my role. With that, let's move to the a very brief introduction about ascended masters. So, friends, what you see over here is a very small snippet of the vast, I would say, the big forum or the group of ascended masters. There are thousands of them, and quite many of them, hundreds of them, are very, very well known to humanity in different stages of humanity. But just to begin with, I would like to say that what is Ascended Masters teaching, first of all? Ascended Masters teachings has been there from eons, not few hundred years, not just 1,000 or few thousand years, but from eons, lakhs and lakhs of years. It has been there before the last evolution of, the new Earth formation, the dinosaur age and all that. Okay, much beyond that, lakhs of years. But do we have this teachings scripted in any of the religious books or any of other records that we have? No. Because of the very obvious reasons. These teachings are more, they are the highest form of teachings. They're very, very pure teachings. And one of the aspects about them is that they really liberate the humanity. And we're going to be sharing about some of the masters in today's session. And I've been sharing about each race relevant ascended masters, at least one or two in every session. And there are couple of ascended masters who are governing a specific ray. So do these ascended masters, they have all of them, they have been through that journey, and they have been sharing about these teachings on different occasions to the humanity. But and they have walked that path. But because of many reasons, humanity was not ready. This information was not so openly available. And certainly, when we read about things which we read about, things in the teachings in the religious books, they are to a degree very, very, very true, but they hold us in a limiting portion, in a framework, which is not the case when we learn through ascended master teachings. All of the various maybe gods that we worship, at the same time the books that we read, you will find some sort of intersection, some commonality in those teachings. But however, when we go through the ascended master teachings, we will be liberated, because these teachings are spiritual in aspect. They don't have a boundary around it. And many of the things, brothers and sisters, which maybe you have been practicing, you would really feel a lot of a kind of a initial struggle to accept, because these teachings will in some cases contradict to beliefs, our understanding about what we have learned, be it chakra, be it our own religion, be it other forms of healings that we have practiced. I'm talking about all that because the thing is that uh, I would like to just say one line over here, is that the purity of this teaching versus whatever information that we have been continuously having, that is the whole question over here. Okay. And when I say the purity aspect over here is simply uh, you know uh, a statement coming from the understanding that the ascended masters want a certain way in which we live or conduct our life. And while we have learned so many things over the years, which we nobody is asking us to leave them. Okay, when we learn a new formula, we don't leave the old learnings that we have. Just like talking about science, we discover new things in science, but that doesn't mean that whatever we have learned is totally scrapped out, or our intelligence was a question. But it only means that there is now a new way in which the things have been looked up, new perspective. We need to be soft to ourselves, to each other also, and gradually look with an open eye and open mind and see what is this learning telling us. It's very important for us to come from that perspective. And I have to say this over here right now, because these teachings are such, and we it'll be helpful for us to look at it from that perspective. So ascended masters teachings have been there forever, but it was not so openly available. Especially there's no big mention of this in any kind of books, but it's there in Akashic records. Okay, and the Great White Brotherhood is nothing but a body of ascended masters and unascended masters, and the chelas like you and me. So we are at different stages of chelahood. There is a stage where when one becomes an adept, which is a stage when one achieves, accomplishes a certain mastery over the various teachings, knowledge, as well as the practices, or using the tools that we learn through ascended master teachings. And but the initiates are the ones, probably we are at that stage, who are in the making of an adept. An adept reaches to an advanced stage where he or she is working on their path to ascension in a very accelerated mode. So at one point of time, adept and a initiate can be do. Initiate is a kind of a beginner, I can say. At one point of time, an adept and an initiate can be working at the same frequency, but it takes a certain mastery to sustain that amount of stability. So very quickly, just to speak about few of them. There are a lot of ascended masters, but this picture only shows maybe 10, 15 of them. And there are quite hundreds of them. I just picked them in no specific order or in no specific preference, but just randomly. So over here you see Ascended Master Kuthumi. He is last incarnation. He was in this was his last physical appearance in India, in Kashmir. So his retreat is also somewhere in Kashmir. He is a master of psychology. Okay, anything if you need any support on psychology, I will explain you how you can reach to Master Kuthumi, and you can take lessons from Master Kuthumi. And then we have El Moria, Master El Moria. He is a master of will of God. Okay, I'll speak one line about them, but then we have huge sessions on most of them, full sessions. Like today, we will be talking about Cyclopia and Hilarion. And this is Ascended Master Chananda. He is a master of twin flame. And he is Ascended Master Sanat Kumara. He was the one who was responsible for the new formation of Earth. And he comes from Venus. He came to the planet Earth with 144,000 emissaries along with him. Couple of these ascended masters were his emissary, like Lord Lento and Archangel Michael and many more. And he has the highest order of responsibility of the planet Earth, because as I was mentioning that he was responsible for the Earth was supposedly to be destroyed because of so much negativity which had accumulated on the planet. But he actually revived Earth. And then he is Ascended Master Serapis Bey. Serapis Bey is very well known for his discipline. He is a great disciplinarian. I can't begin to talk about his powers and how he works on discipline. And he's extremely, the kind of books that he has written. We had a session about him last week, actually. If you go through the lecture, you will come to know. Amazing books on architecture and things like that. He had his last incarnation in Egypt, very well known in that region. But none of these ascended masters truly are having any kind of religious orientation. They have lived in bodies of different religions, different cultures, and in the last incarnations, they there some of there's a face attached to it, and maybe a regional aspect to it where they have been known more. But there is no such preference of any ascended masters, with any kind of that orientation. And he is ascended master. He is actually an unascended master. He chose unascended masters. They choose not to ascend, and they give away certain amount of their powers because they choose to be closer to humanity. And by being closer to humanity, there are certain benefits they get in terms of their reach, and there they lose also certain strengths of other masters who are ascended. But in all give and take, it's a personal choice. Like Gautama Buddha, Mother Kuan Yin, Babaji, Maha Babaji, and many more, they have chosen not to ascend. Okay, so he is very, very approachable. This was his last physical incarnation appearance, but he has been recorded to have shown his presence many a times in the region of India, towards the north of India, around Rishikesh and Himalayan belt, that belt. And he is a master of uh, meditation and nirvana. Uh, okay, and he is Confucius. Confucius is was very well known master in China, in the region China, and he used to practice along with the Serapis during that age. That was in 13th century before Christ. Confucius is a master of wisdom and energy. More about him in later sessions. And he is Master Saint Paul. Saint Paul is very well known for healing. He is, Saint Paul was one of the incarnations of Hilarion. So I'll talk about Hilarion today. And Hilarion is also a master of, healing and truth. So Saint Paul is the master of healing. You see over here is Lady Portia. Lady Portia is, the goddess of justice. If you see various, court, if you go to the courtroom, you see a lady with a blinded eye and having a balancing instrument. That is Lady Portia. Okay, and she is Mother Mary. I think Mother Mary, everybody knows, Mother of Jesus, and she is a god. She's a goddess of justice also. I mean, her other quality is healing. Actually, healing is her prime quality. Then we see over here Gautama Buddha. Gautama Buddha, he is known as the Lord of the world because he has done a lot. He took the responsibility for 2,000 years of human evolution. So, and that's a very big responsibility. So, he's known to be a Lord of the world. And then we see here is Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena had his presence in around 300 AD, and he was working on the pathway of healing along with Hilarion and Saint Paul. And he actually many times was seen to have directly sharing messages of Jesus Christ. We need to understand we are talking all this about a very high level of teachings, which has no implication of any religion to it. So I have to say this because our listening has to come from that aspect, because these are the highest order of teachings. If you talk about any religion, we actually have very little information coming from those saints, great saints, which are present in the books. There's a lot of information which was lost in the books. And I love all the people practicing whatever they are, but the information that we have is not really giving us a full open a full open spectrum about the teachings of the masters actually. We'll move on. So I was talking about Palasithina. She is a goddess of truth. uh, she also had a lot of, as I said, revelations through Jesus. She used to talk to Jesus and share a lot of his messages. So Jesus said through her, "Aham Brahmasmi," I am presence, and shared that message to the humanity multiple times around 300 AD or so. Then she is Mother Kuan Yin on the extreme right. Mother Kuan Yin is known for her work in China. She has not ascended herself, so she is very, very approachable, and she's very fierce in her love, in her mercy, and in her forgiveness. If you go in front of Mother Kuan Yin and you start praying uh, to Mother Kuan Yin, I promise you that she will teach you to forgive murder, rape, any kind of injustice which has come. She's so fierce. Okay, but one has to. It takes time to integrate these, this aspects about qualities of ascended masters. So she's that, and he is Saint Germain. Saint Germain was the one who actually brought the violet flame to the planet, and I will talk about violet flame in a bit, but just to give you a sense that there are certain uh, amazing powers which are available to humanity as gifts given by ascended masters. And these tools can be used by humans to, number one, to balance their karmas. Number two, it can be used to transmute all the negative patterns that we have. Automatically, they get start to get transmuted. And number three, it can help us to accelerate our ascension. And within the second point, we can ask to improve our relationships, our finances, our health. All this comes to us, but the only aspect to know about using these tools is that we don't use it as a workaround. Like, we cannot have a negative outlook and create a negative karma and then use this to balance it. That would not be permitted by ascended masters. That is called as karma logging. Having said that, Saint Germain, he in the last of his incarnations, he was the emperor of Sahara Valley, which is now a Sahara desert. And I'm talking 50,000 years ago. And that is when he received a message from the god Alpha and Omega, that the violet flame is being misused. So that was a time when he had to revoke the powers from the planet. And he, along with his few of his emissaries, very key people who he had a full faith on, were invited to a party, a dinner at his place, and then in his palace. And then he gave them that information, and I think these all of them, they resurrected around that time. And in 250 years ago, a couple by the name of Godfrey and his twin flame Lotus, who were in Chicago, US. They received message from Saint Germain that this is the time when humanity needs to get the violet flame back, and that is when the violet flame was reintroduced. So violet flame has been given back to Earth after a very big period of time, so that people can accelerate their ascension, because this was the time when our mother father god, they saw that, yeah, that humanity really needs some support so that their ascension can be accelerated, and the mother earth can really get into the high vibration octave. Then he is Paul the Venetian. He's a master of love. Okay, more about him later. And he is Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is also known in a Hindu text as Hanuman. So Archangel Michael, he is a master of protection and faith, and he's one of the main responsible archangel for the planet Earth to bring about all this protection. So anytime we face any negativity or any dark forces coming to us, I have experienced from my life Just doing one single decree, maybe 3 decrees. Okay, we do it in three group of three. It just switches the whole situation to a positive situation immediately. My own personal thought pattern or the situation which is around, so quick. So Archangel Michael is very active in assisting humanity. He's very engaged to help humanity to bring forth this protection and faith. Then this is as mighty Astrea. She's also called as in some texts as Durga Ma, Kali Ma, and it's all synonym. It's just different name given by different cultures. But she is a goddess of power and fearlessness, and she's very fierce. If you talk to her, there are some decrees which I'm going to share with you. I have shared in earlier sessions as well, but decree for mighty Astrea, and there's a decree. She spells out the dweller on the threshold very fast, and your situations really transform. So she's another one of those ascended masters who helps people to beyond protection to bring fearlessness, beyond protection to bring power. Yeah, that's what it is. Then he is Maitreya, Archangel, Ascended Master Maitreya. He was a guru of Jesus Christ. I don't know if you know about this, but Jesus Christ spent 17 years in India from the age of 13 till 30. While he was in India, he was working along with Maitreya. Maitreya is basically directly a disciple of Gautama Buddha. In that century when Jesus was born, Maitreya was that was the same time Maitreya's was on the planet, and he yeah, so much to talk about him, but yeah, I'll just keep it to that much. Then he is Ascended Master Hilarion, and he is, I was mentioning that he had incarnations of Pallas Athena and also of Saint Paul. So he is a master of truth. I'm going to be talking about Hilarion in some more time. Today we're going to go in deep about Hilarion today. She, I think, yeah. Sorry about the gender part because that is very secondary right now. I was just looking at Ascended Masters without any gender. But he is Malaripa. Malaripa was famous in China, and he is famous for his yogic powers, levitation, and all those things. He could fly through the air, and he could hear the ascended masters, or he could hear the will of God, God's plan. Malaripa's last incarnation was in China, and that is where his this physical appearance is more known to humanity. But there's a very beautiful story around Malaripa. He was very rich and a very big, powerful prince, king in China. And at his time, his guru asked him to build temple, and he said, and it is known that the guru kept on asking him to build a very big ashram, which involved a lot of resources and a lot of time of Melaripas, and maybe 2-3 years at a stretch, and then the temple was built. And every time the temple was built, the guru kept on saying to destroy it and rebuild it because there is some error. Milarepa did it without questioning, but by the time it was the seventh remake, which it took almost centuries, it took almost decades, 2 decades or something around that. He, upon asking, he was told by his guru that you don't understand, Milarepa. In the last, few lifetimes, you had burnt many houses, and you had to fulfill that to balance your karma in this lifetime. I mean, that's why you had to do this. So, sometimes we don't know what is happening and why it's happening. It's all in the divine order, actually. So this is Cyclopia, and Cyclopia is for truth, healing, constancy, and desire to precipitate the abundance of God. Very powerful. Today we'll share a little more about Cyclopia in detail. And this is Ascended Master Surya, very well known in India. Okay, and he is basically the power. He has the power, and he's a hierarch of God Star. God Star is Sirius. Sirius is the central star of the the great central sun. And within our Earth, then our solar system, and then our galaxy. So the great central sun is the central sun of the whole galaxy, and Surya is the the master of that. Okay, it's also known as that God star is also known as Sirius, Sirius. Ascended Master Afra. So I think Sister Mabel, we were discussing, and he is the first master who got ascension from the black race with this body. It's nothing to do with the body or the color, but there was so much that was stored in that region. A lot of he had he had to demonstrate the God qualities, and he had to go through a lot to bring forth this, because this as a demonstration that all the people, the community that he was representing at that time, they have always have equal opportunity to attain the God self, and that is why he chose to incarnate in that embodiment. That was his last embodiment. So we will be talking about Afra in some sessions. Lord Lento, he is the master of attainment through enlightenment, definition, dominion in the crown chakra, and he was supposedly made ridiculed a lot while he was in his last embodiment in China, because he used to speak the word of God. He was very illuminated, like very highly enlightened being. So his threefold flame was very powerful. It's almost the size of his body. But only the people whose third eye were activated and who had attained enlightenment could only see that illumination. It was physically visible. But others made fun of his, comments and his mastery, his commentary. So he requested the Father, Mother, God that let his light be visible to everybody, and not because it's his ego, but because he wanted to pass the message to people, because he knew that the message is very important for helping the people to further their ascension. And that is when he was given this wish come true, and his light, yellow color light, was visible to everybody, and everybody was amazed. So that's his whole this thing. His I think his last incarnation was in 3 or uh, 300 or 408 BC. So I think we have shared briefly about Ascended Masters. So there is a movement, latest movement, which Ascended Masters have been there, as I was mentioning, but off lately, they have communicated to a group of people, or various messengers, and through that the societies have been formed, and one or two of them which I am aware. There are many, but I have made a note of one or two of them. One of them is I Am movement in America, Chicago, which established in 1930, in 1930s. Other one is more, I think, known globally, Theosophical Society, which was established in 1875 in New York, and then 4 years later in Chennai in India, which is the Indian Cultural Society for I Am Presence. So all this information has been collected from Summit Lighthouse and chananda.org. So I would encourage you to read more about them in these sites, through these sites. It's a vast information. Maybe we are just going to be touching up very briefly, but you can read through and study about this knowledge through these sites. Any questions, my friends?
The two sites you have mentioned, then we should go through it. Can you write it down here so that we can copy it properly?
Yeah, of course. In fact, I'm sharing this slide with everybody all the time. Whenever these sessions are complete, I'm sharing the link to these slides. So all these links are also embedded in this slide, actually. But I have still mentioned it in the chat. You can visit them. Also, I would encourage you to join the WhatsApp group. I think Mabel and I think few people are not in the group. So if you be in the group, no, it will be easy to, I mean, to uh, basically receive updates. That's the whole idea. Okay, I'll just quickly share the link of the group so that it's handy with you, because eventually while the session ends we may not remember it. So that's it. Yeah. um, Let me just start screen sharing. Yeah, so yeah, here we are. This is the link. You can just join. This is a WhatsApp group, and all the various recording links and presentation links are shared over here. That's just one part, but uh, another thing is that this group has been created so that people can take support and give support to each other. We are in a different stage of life right now, okay, of the evolution of Earth, and as and when we are evolving, it's becoming very, very important to respect this evolution, and we can only respect this when we understand what is happening to us, and we can only respect if we also understand that this is something which is meaningful. Then there will be self love, and we will be able to carry it with much more not, I would say, pride, but with much more confidence. It's very important for us to know that, and that's what we that the idea is, so that the group can be used for that reason, because we meet once a week, maybe it can be twice a week, but what do we do when there is some slack during the day? How do we do handle that? So we can just be free flow and take help. Eventually, when we start getting ourselves at a stable state, we can do the same thing with others. We can help others. That's the whole goal of the group. Okay, so now this is any other questions?
No.
Okay, all good. Friends, keep your cameras on and be present. I would really like you to ask questions. The idea is that you are, this is making sense. And if it's getting boring, please tell me. I cannot say that I will entertain, but entertain anybody, but I can be more interactive so that I am at the same frequency where you are. I'm not trying to give any gyan. Specifically, idea is that we learn together. That's the whole idea. So give a thumbs up if everybody is good. Now please switch on your cameras, guys. Please. Mabel and hi Kavita, welcome to the session. Yeah, give me a thumbs up, please. Okay, good. Thumbs up, everybody. Okay, got it. Thank
Thumbs
you.
Up.
Thank
Thumbs
you.
up.
Thank you.
Hello, Akash.
Hi, Kavita ji. Welcome. I'm not
Thank
sure
you.
when did you join?
Just 15 minutes back.
Okay. Never mind. Okay, be at home. Feel free to ask questions. I'll try to integrate as much as possible. But more than that, just feel at home.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we are just starting on the 5th ray, so we'll spend a little time with the minimum time that we have, and try to cover as much as possible. Okay, so 5th ray is about third eye, and the color that we see here is very, very important. Okay, because this is not the color that we have been taught. The third eye color, supposedly, was something else. I don't remember from the conventional teachings, but this is a different green color. It's not exactly this. This is a ascended master color.
Conventionally,
Blue
it is blue.
Blue tha, okay. Yeah, those colors were different. Yeah, blue and orange was the sacral. So these colors are. I have given one full session on just about basics of chakra. And why that is, I mean, in that I have explained that what is the reason that these colors are different. Very, very scientific reasons. Some of the reason understanding is clear, and some of it is still mystical. But the core of the understanding is very, very clear. These colors are not, the basis of these colors are not the same as the basis of the colors that we have been reading or we have known from the past. And that is the main key difference, because we I mean, let me move forward. Okay, I think I'll you must hear that lesson so that it gets a more in-depth understanding. But on a high level, the core difference is that we are sons and daughters of God, and the origination of our seed, soul seed, that is the spirit spark, which took place in the great central sun. And from there, the colors have come, and the colors are basically representing our causal body. So it's a very big difference. But from the source of the colors of chakras that we have known earlier, conventional, is basically sun. That's the sun of the planet Earth, and that is the main difference, because that's not the source of our chakras. So just to let you know. Okay, then you're most welcome, Sister Mabel, my sister. We all love you, and yeah, just as I said, be on those, you know, on the boat, and things will move on. I mean, things you'll see something happening. All right, so remember the color, please. Okay, slides will be shared with you, and you can take a print of the color, and you can, whatever you wish you can do about it. That's fine with, it's up to you. But this chart is the I am presence. Okay, and I've been talking about this in every session. So with the limited time that we have, let me just spend a very brief quick introduction about this. It's not that you most of you are aware and you don't know about it, but I promise you that every session I'm going to be continuing to talk about it, because of the reason that that's the sole purpose of being on the planet Earth. And we all need to, including me, we all need to be reminded of that, all of us. This chart only depicts one thing, is us. Why ascended masters say, and there are some recordings I heard from Elizabeth Clare Prophet, who is a ascended master now, but she was a messenger up until this last lifetime, and she had been doing a lot of dictations, which means that she had been getting all these messages from various ascended masters, and she had been doing this disposition multiple times in that ashram in Corning, Montana, US. And she is also one of the founder of that lighthouse, Summit Lighthouse University. So now the message that has come to us from Ascended Masters is that this chart depicts us. Now, if you look at this chart carefully, what can you see? I think broadly, can you see there's a demarcation here? Like this was one level, this is second level, and this is the third level. No, I mean, yeah, don't go by the number of levels, but there are three demarcations over here. Now, these demarcations are made to make it easy for us to understand. There is no such demarcation in us, essentially, but this helps us to understand where we are. From the golden age, brothers and sisters, we have reached to a stage where we are now at the mercy of a lot of it's a very challenging time, actually, at the mercy of our efforts, noble efforts, I would say. Okay, we really we are challenged, actually. This is a challenging time from the perspective of being at the state of I am presence. Okay, now I was talking about ascended master Elizabeth Clare Prophet. Now, in one of our lectures, she received a message from, I think, El Moria, where he had told that we don't need to relate to each other. The conventional way of talking to each other, like the other person is a guru. or another person is this and that. We don't need any guru. There is no guru. Okay, anybody who is teaching us to have an affiliation with a body or a particular human being, that he or she is required to get our path to ascension, it has to route through him or her, is essentially misguiding us. Because ascended masters said very clearly, and this is Elizabeth Clare Prophet also talking about it, because she's an ascended master. But then I am imagining that ascended master, when in the last incarnation of body, talking this to everybody, saying that you should not relate to each other or somebody as guru, because everybody is a guru themselves. We are our own guru, not from the ego. Because our ego, my friends, the ego really takes away our body all the time. It will give you a kick. Now, Arey, wah, I am the boss. I don't, now I'm the boss. Ab kya? Nothing else is there to, no, now the lecture is over. You told me I'm the boss, then everything is done. It's not that. It's not that. This understanding, it actually helps us to rise above our common understanding, or our, I would say, a lower level of thinking, lower level of energies. When I say, when I bow to you, or when the masters bow to us, all the ascended masters, they bow to every human being when they come. It is they are bowing to our threefold flame, and we'll talk about threefold flame later on. So, not to confuse you, simple. This chart is us, and our I am presence is our guru, and each one of us has that I am presence in us. It's present in us all the time, and it is much more powerful than anything else. And at the same time, we don't experience God. We don't experience I am presence. Let me explain you I am presence. What does it mean? Now, the lowest figure is our Jivatma. Jivatma is our body. So this whole chart is basically showing our different embodiments. I would not say embodiments, I'm so sorry. It is showing our different layers. Okay, these are different layers. Now, there are 4 lower layers and 3 upper layers. And the 4 lower layers are close to, experiencing, that we can experience. They are close to us. We're, readily able to experience those 4 layers. And those 3 layers, they are little more, they need little amount of effort and little amount of sensitivity to start to experience them. So the 4 lower layers are our, etheric body, our mental body, our emotional body, and our physical body. So the physical body is the touch, all the organs. The emotional body is our, you can talk about various meridian points, and I think solar plexus is a center for all the emotion aspects of the part of the emotional aspect. But our body it carries emotions in different layers, center being the solar plexus. So our emotional body has a lot of role to play in our decisions, in our creating karmas. We must understand that this is not a, thin air. It's not thin air. It's a body. It's an emotional body. Unless we understand the science, we will not be able to work on that. So it's a body. Then we're talking about mental body. So mental body plays a big role in generation of our karma, whether good or bad, both being equally important. Now, what do you mean by when I say generation of karma in that sense? Mental body is our psychology. We cannot balance our karma without going through our psychology. That level of balancing of karma through any modality. I mean, I can talk about any modality that people are practicing. Okay, that karma doesn't get transmuted. It only gets displaced from our lower body to upper etheric body, which is our this state. Okay, so in order to balance the karma, we need to work through our psychology. It cannot be a quick pill that I will do one session and I will do some healing and the karma can be balanced. It does not happen. It only gets displaced, maybe for a lifetime, but that karma will come back to us. we have to balance the karma through our psychology also, and that's very important for us to know this. Okay, that's our body. Then it is our etheric body. Etheric body is the aura that we carry. It's an energy field that we have. Now energy fields, people, many, some of the people, they can read the energy fields. Okay, they can see. I also learned it once, and I tried it a few times. Okay, and you can actually see the energy, and you can do it even online as well. But ascended masters have told us to not to play around much on this area, because it's very exciting, and anything which is very intriguing, it takes away our attention, and we don't want our attention to get divulged into that. How does it matter if my color keeps changing to dark gray or brown? It only tells that, okay, my colors are changing and there is some impurity coming. But is that the thing which is more important, or it's more important that I spend that 20 minutes to do decrease, where I know that I have to do decrease, and or I do some silence meditation, whatever, so that I can forward that aspect and learn something. So they want us to never to measure our steps of ascension, how much karma are we balancing and all that, because that's not our job right now. Okay, and we are far away from reaching to a state where we have balanced 99% karma, and Buddha took his last incarnation before he became Buddha, just before that, to balance one of his perversions, basically mastering one of the secret rays, one quality of the secret rays. There are 10 qualities, 5 feminine, 5 masculine. And secret rays are the very high level, advanced level of mastery. Once we master the 7 rays, it take lifetimes. And that for him, he had to come back, because he could not master it earlier. So he had to give up everything and just focus on that. A very ordinary life he had to live. That quality is called as alms. Alms is to give. So that was his last before his death, before his last incarnation, before that life. That life he used to do that actually. Now coming to this, so etheric body is the auric body. Then these are the 4 lower bodies. Then 3 upper bodies is the one is Atman. Atman is, so this is called as Jivatma. Jivatma is also called as Mahesh. That is the destroyer of negativity. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, we call that. I don't want to confuse you. Let's not talk about it. I'm so sorry to bring that up. My intention is that we understand the Trinity. From the Trinity aspect, we are that Trinity. Okay, we have all these qualities of Trinity in us. Much more about it later on, but let's just keep it simple. Atman is the one of the upper layer. Okay, Atman is nothing but our higher mind, and our higher mind is the intuition mind. We can connect to our higher mind through balancing our seat of the soul, sacral chakra, and also balancing all our chakras. When the chakras are starting to balance, and in my 3rd lecture I have given a very beautiful meditation which has been directly by Elizabeth Clare Prophet, and I was lucky that I could get my hands on that meditation. It was it's not easily available also. So that we can use that as a starting point to do the chakra balancing. And then of course it is also done through decrease. But when our chakras are balanced, our vessel, so to say, it becomes ready. The vessel is ready to receive the nectar, and the nectar is basically the information which is coming from our soul. I mean, that is our higher mind, and eventually that is connected to our Brahma, our I am presence. So that is very important for us to receive. Okay, the idea is that we are in connection with our higher mind as frequently as possible, and it's possible through decrease, through meditation. So now this higher mind, Atman, helps us to do that. And then the second is the this I am presence, you see, and this is also called as God self. God self is nothing but that's the ultimate nature of every human being. You, my friend, are light. You, my friend, are love, and God generated everything inside of love. I want you to remember this. that God created everything inside of love. If we are able to, not the human love, I'm not talking about that LOVEV, the heart that we, keep sharing, and not that love, the God love, agape. God created everything inside of love. I mean, when we start, practicing our decrees, we start experiencing that light in us. Light is a synonym of love, the God light. When you see this white color, it's emanating God light. This is our I am presence. And that is when we say the God self. This is our God self in us. Aham Brahmasmi is a word we are familiar with, especially the people from the eastern side. But Aham Brahmasmi means that I am that. I am that means that I am God. And it's bold, I know, but that's true. And you see these colors, the yellow and pink and purple and all that violet. The topmost is this blue. These are 7 colors of causal body. And there's one full lecture which I have given on creation of the causal body and the seat of the soul. And you must listen to that to understand this formation. It's gonna take around 1.5, 2 hours to explain the process of creation of the seed of the soul. Mother doesn't give a birth to a child because of the physical connection with a male and female. That's required, but that's a creation step that we have to follow. But the seed of the soul, angels, they come to our to the mother's womb, and they incept that seed of the soul, and they are throughout that pregnancy they are present. So this is a very, very deep thing. Okay, to have a child is a very important step of the of God's work. So according to ascended masters, one should not abort the child for whatever reason, and that's another discussion. But in that lecture I have spoken a bit about that also. But the point is, these 7 colors are basically the God qualities, and they were like somebody's exposed to different in our human understanding. We can say that if you color a fabric, you continuously keep coloring it. So these colors have been added onto the seed of the soul, and these colors are the qualities have been added onto us, to our soul. And this is our main you can say it's our pocket money. This is our main energy on the planet earth, but we don't remember it at all. I can guarantee, I can promise that none of us remember what is the God quality present in us, because from eons our soul has traveled. We have had thousands of lifetimes. I'm sorry. Did you say something? Okay. Maybe I got mistaken. So I was saying that our soul has traveled in various lifetimes, and uh, just to give you a basic perspective, a lot of fallen angels and dark forces, they have integrated with the pure souls, and our DNAs have been mixed. Are you getting what I'm saying? And because our DNAs have been mixed so much, we don't remember anything. We don't remember at all. Our connection to our third eye is negligible. Our pituitary glands are not activated. Our pineal glands are they are in the dormant state. It's not crystalline. Our DNA strands are only 2 which are active. Uh, We have 12. 10 of them are dormant. So our physical organs, pituitary gland is used, pineal gland is used, our DNAs are used. These are used. These organs are used to give our connection to our higher self. These have been disconnected from ages, and this was the plan from of the divine, of the fallen angel. And because our DNAs have been mixed up, we have taken so many birth and lived life with fallen angels who also came to the planet with the wrong intentions. And I know this is too much right now for the people who are the first timers, but it's okay. You will digest it. Just be patient. Be here with an open heart and open mind. So all this has caused so much of lowering of our energies that we have no idea who we are. Can you just once stand for a moment in the presence of you being the son and daughter of God? We being the sons and daughters of God. Can you imagine, our birth relationship, our earth relationship with our parents and our, all this is secondary. I never knew this. I thought my father, my mother, my brother, my sister, my son, my wife, and that's the closest I can get to a relationship. But did anybody tell? Nobody told me that earlier. I never knew this, that I am a son of Father, Mother, God, and you are the daughters and sons of Father, Mother, God, and that's our primary relationship because we have been generated from them. God has given his qualities to create humans, and the people who are not humans, the fallen angels, they don't have souls, and we are mixed up with that. So for the moment, just for a moment, I want you to be present to this fact that we are sons and daughters of God. It's There's nothing to say, beyond this actually. It's so powerful. And we have to do this all effort to now reach back to from where we started actually, so to say. So this idea of this chart is to make us more present to our I am presence, to our God self, individualized God self in us. Okay. That's the whole essence of all the lectures that we will be having in different formats. Human beings are complex and the journey is really complex. This I am presence is the I am Brahma, I am Vishnu, I am Brahma, the highest form. I am Krishna, I am Jesus, I am Guru Nanak, whatever you call that name. This is who we are. We are not less. All of us. Please remember that. Any questions? Mabel, you can't see the chart?
No.
Can everybody see the chart?
Chart we do not see. We are still seeing this thing. A chart came and it disappeared.
You don't see the chart? Oh my God! Then
I can. Yeah, we saw. I can see the chart.
You can?
No.
Yeah.
I will share the screen again. Okay. I don't know what happened actually.
Oh.
Is it visible now?
Oh, right. Yes, it is now. Oh, yes, I know this one.
Okay. You should have told me in the beginning. I thought because I was referring to this chart all this while,
I left a message and it went to the wrong place.
No. Your message was in the right place. I was in the flow. I could not read it actually. Normally, Ram Bhai is there. No, he always, helps us, supports us in doing all this thing, presentation and stuff. Anyways, it's okay. So, sister, I was talking about this I am presence, and that's who we are. Okay, our God self in us, and these are the causal bodies. These are the God qualities which are present in us, and this is the highest form of our embodiment, our existence, our consciousness, and this is our atman, or you can call it as our higher mind or our intuitive mind or our that's all we can call it. And some part of our soul is also here, you can say in that way. I have to it's a little unclear to me how to say this. I know it that we exist at this level, at the soul level also, but then you can just remember this as at the level of our when you connect to your soul, when you connect to your inner child, is when you actually connect to your atman. So this is in us, however it's little distant, because we are too caught up in our lower body. So this is Atman, okay, and so these are the three higher bodies: Atman, I am presence, and causal body. And these are the four lower bodies. The outermost is our etheric body, and then our mind, as I told you, the mental body, and then the emotional body, and then the physical body. And that's all I think now you can correlate everything because I've completed the explanation part. Any other questions you have on this chart? All thumbs up, eh? Okay, all, everybody. Sahir bhai, Manju ji, Anju.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let's go further then. So today we're talking about the fifth ray. That's on Wednesday. Remember the day? It's Wednesday, on Wednesday. Fifth ray dominating on Wednesday, and the color is green. Okay, and the third eye it has the highest number of petals after the crown, which has 1,000 petals, and these petals denote different qualities. So the third eye is very important for the evolution or ascension. Right now I think the solstice and especially the 21st of December, this a very important date. We really would be getting a lot of help if we are using the knowledge of third eye, because it will help us to take the right steps. Nevertheless, we'll talk about many of the qualities today. Okay, and there are so many masters who are supervising or governing or ministering this ray. I have just listed a few of them. One of them is, and there are different levels of these masters. None of them have any order. In divine realm, there is no order. There is no the supervisor, the manager, the vice president and CEO, and the company board director, chairman. There is nothing like that. Everybody has their role, but none of them are playing a role from a order of their importance or a hierarchy. They are all of them are playing individually important roles. Okay, we have to be careful about the way we understand things. Our vocabulary is quite minuscule to understand how God works or how his work happens. So, but just to give you an analogy, they are playing roles based upon their mastery. So, Chohans have a mastery in one aspect, and archangels have a mastery in another aspect, and Elohims have a mastery in another aspect, and there is karmic board. None of them is like in any order or any preference or any hierarchy. I've just picked up one Chohan out of the ascended masters who is supervising or who is ministering the fifth ray. So his name is Hilarion. I think she. Okay, that's not important. The gender. Let me use the he. Then ascended master archangel is Raphael, and Mother Mary is his twin flame. And then ascended master Elohim is Cyclopia and Virginia. Okay, there are many more, but I've taken these three. And we are talking about today, I mean, in this third eye, we're going to be talking about truth, abundance, supply, science, method, scientific method, health, healing, wholeness, rejuvenation, regeneration, direct, indirect, precipitation, matter, sublimation, tangible proofs of spirit, squaring of the circle, gratitude, constancy, consecration, generosity, open-mindedness, free flow of electron, all this music, mathematics, laws of principles of cosmic energy, and the perversions. So let's look at first the hierarchy of ascended masters. Well, ascended masters are Chohans and archangels and Elohims and karmic bird, as I mentioned. The Chohans are the ones who are mastering, who have been there as ascended masters from a very long time. So there are some new ascended masters, and there are some who have been there for a very long time. So they have picked up mastering the qualities of each ray. Now they have demonstrated their mastery on specific ray. Like for example, just as an example, like let's say Mabel, she has been practicing a mastery of forgiveness for lifetimes. In this last life, she ascended and she became Mother Mabel and Mighty Mabel and all that. And now she wanted to take up this area of forgiveness, and that can be attached to one of the rays. I think it is heart, or I think whichever. So that particular chakra. So then she probably will spend more time in, working with the people in that particular, like, you want to work with Mother, Kuan Yin, because Mother Kuan Yin teaches you the depth of mercy and forgiveness. There's a different level of depth that you can go through. Like that, if you want to work with Archangel Michael, there's a different level of depth that you can go for fearlessness and of protection, and so on and so forth. If it is wisdom, you have to work with many masters, but you can work with master Lanto, and many more, of course. Master Lanto, for wisdom, or El Muria. I mean, will of God. If you really want to work on the will of God, then you can work with El Muria, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So these are the Chohans who are mastering one of these rays, and from that perspective, they demonstrated it in various lifetimes, and they support us while we are on our journey. And the archangels are also doing the same, but they are the leaders of the countless of angels. Now, angels are the different souls which have, recently, graduated to the ascension realm, and they are in the etheric plane. Okay, so that's important for you to know, all of them. So it's the highest rank in the order of angels. Each of the seven rays has a presiding archangel who, with his divine complement Archaea, Archaea is a female archangel, embodies the God consciousness in the of that particular ray, and they serve the humanity from that perspective. Elohims, they are the ones who are the creators of the form. When the cosmos was created, when there was nothing, and then God created the whole cosmos. And that is when Elohims were given the job to create form. All the form, they are the builders of the form. Then we have karmic board, and the karmic board is basically a complete consortium, or a whole panel of various masters who are basically measuring the national, the group, the individual karmas. And each of us, we pass through this karmic board, all of us. Even the ascended masters have to sit in front of the karmic board on a period of time, so that they can talk about what have they created, and whether they have earned the next level of jewel. Next level means that have they added more jewels to their, more attainment to their to their evolution. So it doesn't end when somebody gets ascended. It doesn't end. The continuous process continues. The process of evolution continues, but it's at a different, beyond our understanding. It's at a different level. So we choose. I mean, as per ascended masters, we choose our friends, our family, mother, father, sister, kids, spouse, everything we choose. Even the friends, office, job, everything we choose that. This is a decision that we have made before we took birth on the planet. Everything was, we had decided that. All that we have a choice over here is our free will. How do we take actions? You might have chosen a husband or a wife to teach you some lesson. How do you work with them? Brother, go now. Okay, fine, sister, you carry on. I think we will just start with the a little bit about the qualities, and you can listen to the recorded session. No problem. That's okay. I think the session was recorded. Yeah, it is. Okay. It was nice to have you, sister. Carry on. Now this is the chart. I'll not go through it. You can read it, but it helps you to briefly, have a single glance at each ray corresponding Chohan, Archangel, Elohim, and there are more also, but I'll just stick to these four, and karmic board. And if you go to the website, you'll find more information than this. You can see the corresponding stones, and some more other things. But I have just mentioned it: chakras, divine qualities, perversions, and the symbol. Okay, I'll go to the first to the qualities because of the interest of time. And we'll see if we have time. Then we'll talk about Ascended Masters' life briefly. So one of the quality is truth, abundance, and supply. What do you mean by truth, abundance, and supply from the God's perspective? Well, the biggest meaning of truth is to know that I am that. I am that means I am Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. That's I am that I am. That's the biggest truth. But we usually don't remember it. When we are in the state of Aham Brahmasmi, when we are in the state of I am that I am presence, there is no lack, there is no fear, there is no hatred, there is no jealousy, there is no uh, ailment, there is no ailment. Everything is in abundance. Everything is in perfect order. The heaven that we are looking for is here when we are in the state of I am that I am. That is the ultimate truth. And we start to do that right now while we are alive. We are we we have to come back to the state of knowing that we are God. We really need to, we need to start to do things that we can do to help us build that. We can do affirmations, we can do the things which really take us there in that direction. Yeah. Then we are talking about science, scientific methods. So the person who is in the state of God quality of science and scientific methods would look at everything from the aspect of material and spirit. So that person can actually look at how energy transforms from a spirit to the material world. That's a gift somebody has. Some people have that gift. Al Moria, when he was the age of 15, in his incarnation as a king author. Okay, I don't know when this happened. It happened in, I think, after AD, I think third or fourth century AD. But King Arthur, when he was a young boy, that is basically one of the incarnations of El Moria, Ascended Master El Moria. He was asked to. There was a stone, a big hump of stone, and there was a on that hump of stone, half sword was carved out, half sword, and it is said that he was, there was an announcement that the next emperor will be the one who can separate this sword from the stone. And Al Moria went and he picked it up and he just pulled this rock sword. And this rock sword transformed into a metal sword and he separated from the rock. And this is there in the scripts also. El Moria could identify spirit from matter and he could make changes as an alchemist to different matters. And people who are understanding this, their chakras, when their upper chakras are attuned, they start to imbibe the quality of science and scientific methods, mainly related to that. This is one step ahead, which I was sharing with you. So the heart chakra imbibes the pure love and devotion, and the throat chakra evolves around the science of the spoken word. And throat chakra, not third eye, sorry, throat chakra. And the third eye serves as the screen or to download. So why we are saying this is because our throat chakra is the maximum culprit or has the biggest contribution to addition of or subtraction of our karma. We create a lot of negative karma through our throat chakra. Also, we create a lot of positive karma through our throat chakra. This has the highest contribution. It is said that a thought at the thought level does not contribute to much of karma, so let's say a negative thought. But if it is converted into a word, the amount of karma, and we are talking about negative, for example, the amount of karma is on a very high scale. And so is true with the positive thought and a positive word that we speak. So if you inspire somebody, that really helps somebody and it creates a positive karma as well. Okay, let's talk about life. The word life is synonym of light. So what it means is that when somebody who starts to attain that light, he starts to see everything as God. I was talking about this earlier in the beginning of the lecture. I said that I see everything as God sees. Start using that as your affirmation. I see through the eyes of God. I see as the God sees. Okay, start using that. Brahmasmi. These some words really helps us to integrate with our I am presence. There's a decree which we will be. I have we won't be able to do it, but I have attached that decree in the end of the presentation, which you can actually practice yourself. And we'll do a sample decree today by the end of the session. And then we have health, healing, wholeness, rejuvenation, and regeneration. So health and healing, we all know. Okay, these are the basic qualities of transmuting of a negative energy to positive energy. But what about rejuvenation, regeneration? So rejuvenation is what, when somebody alters from his negative qualities and moves into a physical, a positive quality. That's rejuvenation. Like you know. When our energies are lower, when we experience density around us, can we do some sort of a meditation, or even dance is a form of meditation in a proper way. Music is also a form of meditation, but in a proper way. There are certain musics which have a heavy bass and heavy metal, rock and roll. They actually have a tendency to create density. They will lower our energy. But there are certain music, as per ascended masters, as they said, which generate our energy, which actually elevate our energy. And those musics are mainly, they are fine instruments. All the instruments that we talk about, all the instruments, not specific to any specific area, or where they have been evolved. So yeah, especially if you look at devotional music, I mean, they will uplift your energy. So, so we were talking about these. Also knows the word. So, a person who embodies one of these qualities embodies them all. In other words, the one who has understood the secrets of mastering the perfect spiritual health in all the four lower bodies also knows the virtues of regeneration of the light and rejuvenation of the light, of positive energies in his body temple at will. Somebody who can change his vibration, as I was telling you, through various forms, is the one who has a mastery over rejuvenation and regeneration. So regeneration has to be when you are just creating it, new energy. But rejuvenation is when you're converting your negative energy to a positive. So that's also important. At times we are so down in the density of our thinking, of whether it's on us or on somebody or in some situation, that we forget that we have the power to come out of it. We need to remember that there are certain ways in which we can come out of it. First of all, we can make a resolution, and I promise you, uh, one of the masters who I work with, Andrew Cohen, we have created one thing in which we say that any negative, thought is holding power only until we pay our attention. Any negative thought, and eventually energy starts to get created when the thought is moved into the lower levels of emotions and all that. Any thought which is not helpful, we make a resolution to drop that thought as soon as we come to know about it. That is what practice we need to take on. Okay. And then we look at the next one, and we'll do I have a decree on that, and I'm going to be sharing that decree with you. Next one we look at is direct and indirect precipitation from the spirit to matter, sublimation from the matter to spirit, tangible proofs of the spirit, squaring off of the circle. I think this I have just shared, that the person who has the quality to see the spirit and see how it gets converted into matter, and he is able to see both the sides of the coin. Like, I am a physical body, at the same time this physical vessel is conducting something which is much beyond the body, which is basically this body is fulfilling on creation of the good karmas and also serving humanity. There are a couple of ways in which one can balance our karmas. One is through decrees, one is through serving humanity. Okay. And uh, yeah, and meditation. So he is an alchemist of spirit who has received the gift of precipitate spiritual, unseen by naked eye, energy to the material form, and how to dissolve them back into the spiritual realm. So much so, you can keep reading. Okay, and we're just talking about one, book. If I think you would have read autobiography of a yogi. So in that, I think there is one place where it is mentioned that, in that book, it is mentioned that the Babaji, Mahavatar Babaji, he is a bodhisattva and who can dissolve at his will. He can change his body. So, autobiography of Yogi was written by Paramahansa Yogananda, who was further disciple of Babaji. Okay, and Babaji can actually change from body to at his will to spirit, and from the spirit to body, and which is possible. And now, because even Paramahansa Yogananda, he is also ascended master, and we can learn to do that. I don't know. I mean, uh, what can be more examples right now? But this is the state which is possible. We can create a matter. We can create liquid, gas, different forms through the spiritual realm, the sublimation process. It's mentioned that likewise he knows the keys to the sublimation process, which is the transition of substances directly from the solid to the gas state without passing through the liquid state. Anyways, so gratitude, constancy, consecration, generosity, open-mindedness, free flow of the electron. So all these qualities, they are interconnected. So now, if somebody who can be at a state of I am presence at a personal and an impersonal level at all times, that is a great being in the state of gratitude. Because if I am at the state of I am that I am, then there is only grace coming through me. There is no other thing coming through me. It's only grace. And a person always remains constant, consistent with his devotion, and he consecrates himself 100% to the God self. So what we are saying is that when we start to live in the state of alpha, okay, and that is possible. One of the things that we can do to be in the state of alpha is easiest way is to be in the state of meditation. I don't know it's whether it's easy for some people or not, but then that's one of the ways. Another way of being in the state of alpha is to be non-judgmental completely, like attach no meaning to any content that you are seeing. Even if you're looking at a computer, or you're looking at a chart, or something on the wall, don't attach any meaning to that. That is a very high state of being, because that at that state we are basically elevating from our brain, and we are just operating at the level of consciousness. And when we are in our pause, in the state of consciousness, our chakras are optimal. Operation of the chakra is optimal. So what we are doing is we are dissolving any energy that is coming to us into uh, completely transmuting it into nothingness. Okay, then we talk about music, mathematics, laws, and principles of cosmic harmony. The person in his inner ears hears rhythm, music of the nature. He understands the inner mathematics of laws of nature, spiritual plane, and earth and matter in the plane. So as above, so below. So when somebody is in sync with the, I am that I am, music flows, mathematical formulas come, laws and principles of the cosmic harmony, they come, lot of intuitive things happen. So we don't have, it is said also in our Vedanta that we don't have to read hundreds and thousands of books to attain mastery. One who is wise, and one who is operating at the god self, is much more powerful than reading 1,000 books. That's also mentioned in one of the chapters in our I think it's mentioned in Gita also, our another biblical book. I think that's more about, that's all about the qualities. Any questions? Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. So any questions so far? Okay. So all thumbs up. All thumbs up. Sahir, I got yours. What about Manjuji, Vasudha, Tamra? Thumbs up. Okay. Okay, got it. So the next one is the perversions.
Akash,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to connect. You mentioned about superstition, accident, chance.
Yeah.
Is that how is that linked? Like, can you just explain
us.
that a bit? Like, what causes? Yeah, like, is that doing those practices lead to? Can you just
See,
explain that
yeah.
part
See,
a bit?
Vasudha on a very larger spectrum, fundamentally we are just energy. We are the bodies which are in physical realm, but we are all energies. Okay. Now, it's a very scientific law of the universe that energy, like energies, will attract. Now, if there is a energy which is a lower in vibration, will automatically attract on energies which are lower in vibration. Like, like I woke up at the wrong side of the bed, okay, and I was cribbing about my health, my finances, my relationships, all the things which are around me, maybe the people around me, and everything that I have. So nothing is going fine, and or in some degree to it. I'm just trying to give a contrast in a lesser degree also. But what is happening is eventually when I see that I don't, maybe the electricity has gone suddenly, and I would have forgotten to pay the bill and they disconnected, or something that I wanted to eat was not kept in the fridge and it got rotten, and I don't have good breakfast to eat, and my maid suddenly fell sick and she took off, or I saw that while I move out of the house to buy something, I forgot my wallet, or I, there's unpredictable traffic on one road, and I have to wait, and I'm delayed in doing what I had to do. Now the thing is, these things are happening, okay, naturally, but or I meet somebody who is really spoils my day further by speaking what they speak. Now, these things are happening very natural, but they are not just happening out of any, without any order. The order is our own energy. Because if we alter our own energy, why wake up in a, I wake up in a very good mood, or I didn't wake up in good mood, but then I started to do some affirmations. I started to listen to some music which is uplifting me. I did something of yoga or exercise, something which lifted my energy even further. Then I spoke to somebody, or I did something in which maybe, or maybe some dance. I can do decrees, I can do some chanting, I can do meditation. I can just talk myself out of it also, doing some positive affirmations, because it's all in us. Okay. The vibration altered. And suddenly I start to see that the people who I'm meeting, they are helping me. So a person is not good or bad. The worst aspect of that person is only visible when the lower energies around them are similar. They will only attract. But the positive side of that person, or the I am presence, or the God quality, if that is the dominant that he chooses to, it's a choice. A situation is a situation. Take the worst example, somebody died, for example. But what do you make it mean is up to us. Now,
Right.
a person left three kids. One of them, when he, on his demise, one of them, he said, I lost my guide. Okay, and the other one said that, oh, I don't have a provider now. The first one said I lost a guide and a friend. Second one said I don't have a provider, to shelter me. And the third one said I got free, finally a freedom. Which one is the true? There is no one in that. It's our interpretation how we are. So we are latching on to the God quality so that we make sense of the absoluteness of the God, the perfection of the God, so that we don't dilute it. That is why reading the God qualities is important for us to understand. At any given point of time, all the perversions, because of our evolutions of many lifetimes and our mixed DNA with the fallen angels, they are there in us. We must remember all human beings have perversions. None of them are proof or fireproof from any perversion. But it is for us to be humble towards it or be more allowing. When God sees a human being or his son and daughter with perversion, he doesn't discard them. If he or she was a criminal also, or murderer also, or whatever they have done. So we have to look at our perversions from the God's eye. I made a mistake, whatever grave mistake. Can I allow myself to have done it and accept myself? But I make a resolution that I wouldn't do this kind of thing. I'll be more mindful of it. Can I learn that lesson? That's all is required. This is anyways a temporary body. If I do a good thing, I say very nice, not because I have done it and I have to have an ego about it, but God made it do it through me. So great. I send my appreciation to my I am presence. I don't keep it in my psychology, because my psychology will try to manipulate me. It will control my ego. Ego is something which controls us. We are not here for that. I will be sharing in future lectures forms of pride. There are 62 forms of pride as per ascended masters, and you will be shocked. I promise all of us will be shocked, because we feel that we are doing certain good things, but from God's eye, the level of understanding of goodness, or level of understanding of the good things that we do, is very, very minuscule. God wants us to do things in a much, much more pure way. And if you read it and you're having, if we have an open heart and mind, we will start to embrace this. And gradually we keep understanding it and reading it, we will start seeing that how we are moving away from our old patterns to a new way of living. It's possible. All that we need is to have that openness. That's all it is required. Now, coming to that knee science, superstition, accident, chance, all this is this only. So people, thank you, bhai. Thank you, bhai. Thank you, brother. All this is, people with the knee science energies exhibit ignorant vibrations about the existence of the divinity in them. देखो ना आप Vasudha ji, just see, it's all, we can relate to it. I mean, in some way, right? They will ignore. I mean, about this whole discussion, it can be that okay, what is there? Yeah. There's nothing. So we can speak like that. So that's one. That's our dweller. The dweller is existing in each one of us. So we must be present to it all the time. How do we counter is by first facing it. And then second, it's not enough, because there are so many dwellers around us also. We have to start doing protection degree and so many degrees, so that we raise our vibration to a degree where these things, they don't touch. Anyways, so they dwell on the practices of superstition and take chances in practices of gambling. Such persons are vulnerable to meeting road accidents as they walk around having openings in their aura. Dekho, abhi, what is this meaning of the opening in aura? It means that when you allow negativity to enter you, so we are not having our positive energies, because our energies are wrapped up with all the negativity around. That is why we need decree. Baba, why we need decree is because we have to protect ourselves first. How can I feed somebody unless I have my stomach full? I cannot give anybody money, unless I have something with me. We cannot pass light or love truly unless it is there with us. That is why we have to practice it. This is not going to work at all by reading this document and this theory. This is not going to help. This is just going to give you some understanding which will not matter after some time. But if you start practicing the violet flame or the other colors of decrees, different decrees, I have shared the whole book of decree, which has 500 pages and approximately more than 300 plus decrees. It is like a Bible for somebody to start. And there might be little more, but then that's a good place to start. If you start using that as a resource, it will help. Do it with the the steps we have given. It's very simple. So that's very important. So these things are happening because the person was open to the negative energies, and it's possible to everybody. Today, if I bet, if we are just we are in the state of no protection, and we walk to a negative place, something has happened. I don't know what, something wrong has happened over there. Some protests are happening. We will get that energy. We will start feeling that negativity
Yeah.
in our lives also, and our language will also alter. And language is, cause it creates a lot of negative energy, karma. So that is what karma,
Okay.
then energy, karma, then energy. It becomes a ripple. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay.
So the book of degrees you said shared is in the drive that you
It's in
shared
the
with us,
drive.
the document.
Yes. Yes. If
Yes.
you click on the
Okay.
link, I will reshare it today. You will have one folder by the name of
Okay.
book. In that folder, there are five or six
Okay.
books. And one of the most, the
Okay.
book which has the biggest size is the full book of all the
Mm.
degrees. And there are some smaller books which has only violet flame, only creation decrees, only health healing decrees. So they're like that. They're different groups.
Hi,
Okay.
hi Akash. I have a
Thank you.
question. Can
Yes,
you hear
Tamra.
me?
Yes.
So people who have, lack of spiritual impoverishment, or who believe in superstitions, or even, have different kinds of ailments, have mental or emotional imbalance. So if we have such people who are around us, what should we do? I mean, I know that we need to cut cords and everything, but how is it done?
Okay, very good question. There are two things about that, Tamra. First thing is that we can't interfere in anybody's karma, and that is not allowed by the ascended masters also. But we can pray for them. So, and the second thing which is involved is that our own energies have to be protected. So, first thing which we do is we first do a protection decree for ourselves, because
Okay.
unless we are in a state of, as I was just mentioning to Vasudha, unless we are in a state of absoluteness, we cannot see clearly. Our eyes and everything is having a lot of, I would say, blurriness, because we have to see it through the eyes of the God. So doing a,
Hmm.
first of all, 0.01 degree is very important. That's the protection decree. It's a big protection decree, full length protection decree. That is number one. Number two, you take permission of that person, from that person's I am presence. And if that person is not in the talking terms, if they are, then it's okay. But considering that they are in the negative zone and all completely oblivion, or they're completely ignorant to the aspect of the spiritual side of themselves, and they
Hmm.
don't really align with this thought, then take permission from their I am presence, to do some healing prayers for them. There are very powerful healing prayers.
Hmm.
There are some healing prayers by Raphael, which is what we are discussing today. Today is a color green, and it's a color of healing. And that
Okay.
is one healing prayer is, I think, 50.00, and it's a very big. It's called as healing thought form. So you can do a complete healing decree for that person. What will
Okay.
happen is that the decrease prayers will go and that will work on that person. But considering that I am that person, okay, and I am not open to any of these teachings of spiritual, and I don't really believe in it, so to say, and I don't really agree to this. The what will happen is that the prayers that you have done, that will go to my etheric level. I was just
Aura.
talking about the I was just talking about the bodies. There are 7 layers of bodies. So the upper
Right.
body is our higher mind, that is our etheric body, our Atman. So these prayer will go to the Atman level, and
Okay.
until the time I am ready, I might not experience it. So let's say that you did a prayer so that I can become more humble, or uh,
Open.
empathetic and open, and like that. Okay, it's basically helping to improve the relationship, or the understanding level, the psychology level. Now, once I start being myself in the state of accepting that okay, there is something which can be done through the intervention of higher realm, or through the divine, or through God, whatever I say. But once I start saying that I am open for receiving the healing, that healing will start impacting me, because it was
Okay.
there stored in the bank. So these prayers, they never go waste, never go waste. But we cannot play around with anybody's free will. That is something which ascended masters have a boundary. A fallen angel will always come to us without our permission. That is why we receive negative energy from other
Okay.
people, and we can also transfer. But a angel, a ascended master, will never ever come to us without our permission. It means
Right.
that we have to invoke them. Always we have to
And
call them.
call them. Yes, we have to call them. Yeah.
Does
Got
this
that.
answer your
Thank you.
question?
Of course. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So then we were talking about error, insufficiency, lack, spiritual impoverishment. I think this I have explained. So about a person who is in error, can be said that he is traveling on the wrong side of the traffic of life. His choices of life are based upon the human impulses and not divine aspirations. Such a person is spiritually impoverished and experiences insufficiency of divine graces and lack of spiritual abundance in his life. I think we all can relate to it. All we have to do is we have to be little more compassionate and humble towards ourselves. This, on the starting, some people, they are in denial. They say, no, I have reached to a place where this is not there in us. It's not true. Ascended masters have said that we have to be humble towards this, because there are some portions of some perversions in everybody. Unless we do this work, this shadow work, whatever we call it, our progress will be limiting. We cannot just succeed without going through our psychology. We have to pierce through this. At the same time, we have to do the good work. So build a positive karma, plus also balance the negative karma. It cannot be, the positive karma cannot be balanced, sorry, the negative karma cannot be only balanced by doing decrease. कि भैया आकाश ने बताया डिक्रीज करनी है, तो मंजू जी ने कहा चलो मैं आज 15 मिनट वॉयलेट फ्लेम डिक्री, आई विल डू 15 minutes of violet flame decree, and my karmas are balanced. It is not enough. However, it is a significant improvement, significant progress. No way that can be done without the decree. Might be, you can compare 6 months of violet flame decree can balance one lifetime of karma, negative karma. It is so powerful. But we have to, in parallel, also work through our psychology. I hope I'm making sense. Yeah. So death,
Yes.
the
Yes.
people who, okay, thank you. Death, the people who get wrapped up in such energies are the death spiral progressing in the downward direction. In other words, their souls are losing the light life, eventually results in the death of the soul. And there are some people who are soulless, and there is a chapter about that. Maybe we will pick up sometime later. So soul also can die, by the way, just to let you know. Some souls, they can't make progress and then they die. That's also happening. And that's one of the, one chapters that is also being discussed. We'll talk about it later. But we should know that the soul cannot be consistent, it cannot be stagnant. If the soul is continuously not progressing, the soul can also die. And there are some people who live a soulless life. They reach to a stage of living a soulless life. And there are some examples of that. I'll pick this topic later up, actually. We'll pick this up later. So another is disease, a house divided, aging, degeneration. People with this perversion attract all kind of diseases because their mental, emotional difficulties are disagreement with each other. In other words, they have a house divided. They become old quickly and vibrate, and as a vibrant energies of the creativity give way to the degenerative energies and disintegration in death. Absence of manifest works, absence of virtues and things of the spirit made practical in spirit form and matter form. Such people have nothing to show in their lives as good works or virtues to uplift others as a spiritual material level. Ingratitude, inconsistency, carelessness, desecration, lack of givingness, small mindedness, envy, jealousy, greed, covetousness, possessiveness, imprisonment of energy in matter. See, all these terms and these words are quite relevant and quite self-explanatory, and some portion or the other we relate to it. So nothing new, we know it. The people obsessed with such perversions are ungrateful, unreliable, selfish, narrow minded, possessive, greedy, all that. It is always they ask not what you can do for others, but ask what others can do for you. What can you do for me? What is in it for me? Always. Never looking at what is there for others also. It's a common thing, isn't it? Isn't the humanity talking this language? Most of the time we do it, right? Mostly people talk about this only. So it's not that it is far-fetched thing. It's commonly there in all of us. But we have to just distinguish it gradually and let it be and support each other. Not be so harsh. How could you say this? I am moving forward. First thing the Ascended Master told was, you have never to ever say that I am at this level and you are at this level. Everybody has to just be like it is written in Bible, as a lambs of God. As a child of God, there's a mention in the Bible. It says as child of God, you have to be like the child of Jesus, his lambs, who are always carefree. They're like children. From heart, be intelligent, be fierce, be very doing and dedicated, but be childlike. Let things go. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then I think we are end of the session. At the end of the session, so in harmony, such people stay mentally disturbed at their core level, and in harmony in their emotional body because of their mental and emotional vibes are not in sync with each other. They portray an example of house divided, which is waiting to destruct anytime. I think this is there in all of us. Some portion of disharmony is there. Something is not okay. Something is not integrated. So we have to keep on working on it. Wherever we see it's worked out, we should start and help others. That's the whole goal. Okay, so today we didn't have much time. So we will leave the teaching, the little bit biography of the Chauhans and the Elohims. But I'll just give you a very, very snippet if you're interested. Would you like to hear 2 more minutes of, life of one of the Ascended Masters, Hilarion? If yes, please give a thumbs up. Or else we close the session. Sahib Bhaika, yes. Okay. What about Vasudha? What about Manjuji? Tamra, yes. Yes or no? Okay. Manjuji का भी yes ही है फिर. Let's complete it quickly. 5 minutes में.
Yes, mine is yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm more than happy to extend. We had to close at 3, but it's okay. Anyways, now Hilarion had taken couple of embodiments in which his embodiments also got incarnations. So his name has multiple ascended masters attached to it. Hilarion is a Chauhan, as I give a definition of Chauhan role of the fifth ray, and fifth ray is mainly for healing and truth. Now there are so many different ascended masters who master this ray, like even we were talking about Portia, and then we were talking about Pallas Athena, but Hilarion was the one who's given this in charge as a complete minister for this ray. One of his embodiments, he was the highest priest of truth. So it is said that before the Atlantis, I don't know if you all know about Atlantis, but Atlantis was a a land which was sunk into the water at the time after the golden age ended, many tens of thousands of years ago. And during that time, when the Atlantis was sunk because of various reasons, because of a lot of negative karma on the planet, it is said that Hilarion, he carried the sacred fire. So the sacred fire cannot travel by itself. It has to be carried by a soul. That is a prerequisite by God, because energies have to, in the planet Earth, physical planet, they have to have a vessel, which is basically a body. So this, though God can transport things like this, they can transport the flame and all that, but it requires a human being to do it, and it is explained in detail also if you go to the Summit Lighters website. But then he carried this flame, the flame of truth, and some of the artifacts to a temple in Greece, distant from the continent, the Atlantis continent. And then many hundreds of years later, Pallas Athena, I have spoken about him also, he dispersed these lectures about truth to people. Truth is the Aham Brahmasmi, and the healing is about, if you are in the I am presence, you have that purity. You can be that. He has said that if we are in the state of such high purity, we can transmit our purity to others. We can start healing others also, but it has to start with us. Pallas Athena, he used to be very closely connected with Jesus Christ, and he used to receive lot of information regularly from Jesus Christ, and he used to share with others. So Pallas Athena had helped humanity for a long time, but at a stage, black priesthood came. Black priesthood started to misuse this energy. So that is when, the Great White Brotherhood, they withdrew this energy, so that now people will not receive this, because you cannot use this truth for wrong purpose. Okay, it's very important to know. Then his embodiment on Saint Paul. Saint Paul was another embodiment which I have shared in the beginning also. I showed you his picture also. It was again somewhere in the 3rd century, but then in this again, Saint Paul was very closely connected to Jesus Christ, and he used to pass these messages. But what happened is, at a stage where he continuously kept on walking this path of the knowledge of Jesus Christ, and he kept on sharing with people that this is what you need to do as meditation, or as certain practices that you can do. Maybe many of them meditations were mainly part of it, but eventually what happened was that people started to misuse it. Okay, and if you read over here, it is not the hour of the call, but hour of the conversion. So he said once that the time when you make a choice, like I was telling in the beginning, it's important to make a choice that I will walk this path. This is my primary job, and that is when the conversion of the soul happens. So he had shared all these things to people in various stages of life. Okay, then he spoke about, he said that he had some more history. It's okay. What important is that we have to balance our karma 100% before we can go to the stage of ascension. So Saint Hilarion was his another life in which he was in 290 AD and all. He used to live a very normal life, and but he used to heal people. So at one point of time, it was said that he healed somebody, a very big king, and he offered him a lot of jewels, but he politely declined to receive anything. Continued to be a saint and live a very ordinary way of living, but he used to heal people continuously. But he used to also walk away from the crowd, because many times people used to come for wrong reasons. They wanted to get healed for small things and not understand the power of the healing, and then again get into that thing and then come back for the healing. So he continued to walk away into the jungles and into the forests. But then Jesus Christ told him, and they were connected to Jesus Christ because Jesus was very closely connected to those whole lineage of healing, actually, or the whole hierarchy of that those masters. So Jesus told him that you have to continue to do this job until the day you are here. So then he continued to give that, and people asked him that, why don't you receive anything as a gift? So he said that I will. He said, freely ye have received, freely give. Enthusiasm to reclaim the sons of man's as. Okay, then he said, be thou made whole, are sent from God. The identifying mark of the true healer is that he walks in the shadow of his mighty I am presence, that he is humble before God and man, and humble before God and man, and that he gives all glory to God for the works of God performed through him, knowing that he is but the instrument of the Holy Spirit. These holy ones of God are self effacing, and they will not necessarily tell you that they have the gift of healing. So, can you imagine that he is walking in the crowd and he doesn't even say that I am somebody who has this power to heal, and I am like, you know, he is completing his ascension. He's reaching to that stage that he has the powers. He's not saying anything, but he's just walking that path as a normal person. I think Hilarian's mission today, it's mentioned that the melody of onward Christ soldiers may be played draw to draw the radiance of Hilarion into one's world. Through this music, we can feel the same fervor and zeal today that enabled the Apostle Paul 2000 years ago to inspire the early Christians to establish the Church of Christ in Asia Minor and eventually throughout known world. So, see, he wants us to practice this joy of giving and healing and do this community work. I think one of the things is to also spread this word of God, actually. See, find out what the teaching is by living the teaching. It's very, very important. I think that's all about him.
Akash, I would like to share something.
Please go ahead, Tamra.
Thank you. So it is said and also believed through holy books and scriptures that all of us as souls who take birth have some or the other unique power. And it is through the work of light that we are able to identify and also receive the gift of God. So some people, that you see are evangelists, or some people who are saints, or even gurus, as we call them. They all have been able to identify work and, kind of receive light and the gift of, or the power of something. So some people are healers today because they have received that gift. Some people could have the power of, um, transforming lives and evangelizing and taking them as a group towards light, right? So all of us, I think, this is something that my education or spiritual practice has been able to impart to me. The very fact that we are all as free souls, free will, and if we just follow the path of ascension, we would be able to identify these powers that gods grant us and to even kind of spread all around us.
Yeah, absolutely true, Tamra. In the earlier lecture, beginning of the lecture, I we have discussed that all of us have one or the other God quality dominant on us, which is dominant, and that is a essentially there are souls who have been able to at the early age identify it, and there are reasons attached to it that they can identify it, and one of the prime reasons is that the earlier birth karmas had been very well balanced to reach to a stage where they can start to give away now. But in this lifetime, irrespective of where we are, we can still come to know what is our dominant ray or the dominant God quality by understanding various God qualities, God rays. And then once we understand all the God qualities and God rays and we get educated, we get knowledge about it, and we start to experience that in a very starting initial as a beginner level. There is a beautiful 1.5 to 2 hours of questionnaire which we will go through at the end of this 7 days or seven classes of 7 rays. In that, we will identify which is the dominant ray. And the dominant ray is basically the God quality which we align to the most. Like I have done that when I was doing this lecture with my master or my mentor at that point of time. And I found out that there is a specific ray that is dominant, the first dominant ray and the second dominant ray. My result came, both were almost similarly equal. But yes, you are right. So some people know it, but it doesn't matter if you don't know it. You can also find it out in this lifetime. And some people do it very, you know, free flow with a free flow, very easily, gracefully, and effortlessly. And some people need to take the effort. Nevertheless, whatever the situation is, we must take that effort in this lifetime. Somebody needs to take an effort. We must take that effort, because if our dominant ray is forgiveness, for example, and the healing through that, and love, then if we are faced with challenges where we face problems where we can't forgive, we must do the effort, as much difficult it is, to make sure that we shine in that quality. But for some people it comes very, very gracefully. They're just spreading love and forgiveness like free flow. Like, come, I'll just, you just give it. Like, the um uh, what is her name, Mother Teresa. Like, she was freely giving. So she's at a stage where she's so very well connected that she can just free flow and give it. So ascended masters have said that we all have that power, and it doesn't matter where we are in that. We must walk the path of ascended masters with purity. And that is the all that they ask is that you should not shy away from your work that has to be done, because at the end of that work, like for example, the person who has a difficulty facing more challenges in forgiveness and love, that lessons are tougher for for one individual. Ascended masters have promised that if you continue on that path, the other side is glory, the other side is light, the other side is love. So it will not happen that tomorrow Akash had walked the path of ascended masters to, exceptionally forgive, exceptionally give love, and then later on people try to misuse him, because that will be another lesson. And if he continues to follow that path, eventually the only thing which will come is light and love. So this is very important for all of us to know. Wherever we are, we are protected by the masters. They're always with us. That's the bottom line. God is always with us. I hope it's making sense.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I can speak another 2-3 minutes if you want about Archangel Raphael, or we can close. Both is okay.
I think we can close now.
Can close? Sure.
If
We spend a
everybody,
lot of time.
Yes.
If it's okay with
It's okay.
everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It's okay.
Yes, it's all right. I think we should close and start with a fresh mind next time.
Absolutely. Yeah, we should. I think we have to also a little bit manage the time better, so we can close within 2:30 itself, actually. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time. And we have also some decrees which are shared in the end of the slides, which I will share the link to. Please use that. I will also paste the YouTube link so that you can get some references how to do the decree. To initially to do it with lip syncing with one of the masters who have done it for some time. Eventually, you can start to do it yourself, but follow the steps which I have mentioned in the slide: visualization and putting your situation in the scenario, in the picture when you do it, and covering yourself with that. Through visualization you will have all that the steps are mentioned, and then doing it very you speaking the words clearly and doing it in the commanding tone. So please follow that, and also first do the invocation, then do the decree, the body of the decree, and then do the closing. Okay, I think we had a wonderful session, so I would like to do a small closing prayer for everybody, if it's okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sure. Okay. Playing something. I hope the sound. I'll have to share the sound. 1 second. Okay. Share sound and the screen. Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is a closing prayer, and you will see it on your screen. Yeah, this is the closing prayer. Yeah, I hope it's visible, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's visible.
I'll just play it in Elizabeth Clare Prophet's voice. Let's start.
Light, light of the eternal spheres, Elohim of God, beloved Hercules and Amazonia with us, seal us in the Emmanuel, seal us in the light of Sanat Kumara, seal now the emergent grail of each one, seal the flaming potential of the soul, the heart and the mind, and the physical foundation thereof, the mental, the etheric, and the feeling world. Seal these hearts with living fire. Seal them now as we sing to the Ancient of Days, Sanat Kumara. Fill our grail. Fill us now, Sanat Kumara, and let us be a living replica of the chalice of Elohim and of the Ancient of Days. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and the Mother, we accept it on this hour in full power.
Amen. Amen. So I think that's all for today. Thank you so much for sticking by for a longer time. My apologies.
Thank you, Akash. It was a wonderful session. It was a wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Tamara.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vasudha. Thank you, Manjuji. I hope you have a nice weekend, and if you didn't have your lunch, a nice lunch. So,
Yes.
yeah. Please do
and
post
invoke
questions.
and invoke Jesus Christ to come have lunch with you today.
Yes, they do come.
With all the
The
blessings.
prayers, they do come. All the masters do come if we invite them. They are present with us in all the endeavors that we go through. It's enough to call their name.
Yeah.
I will pick up saying a fiat in the next session. Just by saying the name, they can come. Like you can call Vajra Sattva. He's one of the the 5 Buddhas and from the secret race, and he will just come. If you call Shiva, he will just come. All of them, in fact, just by calling their name, they just come. Archangel Michael, help me. If you just say that, Archangel Michael, help me, he just comes. So they're all so readily accessible, and we can write letters to them. Like we can just write to our father and mother, just friendly way, or a friend, and burn the letter actually, and they actually listen to that. And the letter should just have a heart-to-heart conversation that this is what I'm facing, and I'm ready to also do something. Like I'm ready to do a committed decree or a committed sharing of the word of God, like what I'm doing right now. You can do that. And the idea is that we are taking on some part of the ascended master's work along with us, even if it is just doing some decree, some good work, some service, because the energy that they carry is very, very pure, and they give this energy to us with a trust. Just say if I give you 1 lakh rupees, I wouldn't want you to destroy yourself. The idea is that you save, use it in a good way. They're giving energy, and they just want it to be used in a good way. That's all. It's not much to ask for, in fact. So this is what I have learned, and you all can do that. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice lunch, nice
Thank
weekend.
you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.